The stealth system in Assassin's Creed plays a massive part in making the Assassin's Creed franchise successful. It wouldn't feel right for a game to release within a series without a proper stealth system. And luckily, Ubisoft have already confirmed that the stealth system in Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to be more complete than what we've had in recent years. And in today's video, we're going through everything you need to know. With the release of Odyssey and Valhalla, it felt like the series has been taking more of a turn to an RPG style of game and not so much turning right into what makes Assassin's Creed fun. Ubisoft even announced recently after release of both of these games that they did have to remove certain parkour animations because the world and the game itself no longer facilitates those types of parkour moves. It's not that they're not nice to have or they don't have an impact on stealth, it's just because the worlds were so massive with both Odyssey and Valhalla that there's certain animations that just didn't work with the landscape. The cities are no longer as densely layered as what they used to be in the older games within the franchise, so they removed them, and this hurt stealth as well as parkour. With Mirage, they're going back to their roots. Well, that's what Ubisoft are claiming. This means that stealth will be playing a crucial part of the game and is probably going to be the main way in which missions will play out, rather than what we've had in recent titles where stealth has been more of an optional method if you choose to do it. But really, you could just run in and assassinate your target without any problems whatsoever and run away. So let's actually look at the different ways in which stealth will be utilized within the world. Firstly, within free roam. In Assassin's Creed Mirage open world, stealth and observation is going to be much more important during free roam. You're going to have the ability to infiltrate buildings and camps. However, Ubisoft is making Mirage a more strategy focused game. This means before killing a target or entering a restricted area, you need to observe what's going on. If it's a building, you need to understand who's walking in and who's walking out, and what entrances and exits are being utilized. Where are the guards located, and will people of the public be able to see you trespassing? In some cases, you'll even have to eavesdrop on citizens in order to locate certain entrances. All of this isn't going to be made obvious to you by the game. The level of difficulty with stealth has also been increased, not just because it makes it more difficult, but also because there's so many more options. You will be able to find certain stealthy approaches which are a lot easier to locate compared to others. It goes a lot deeper than what we've had before. Ubisoft have also highlighted that they're really trying to push stealth, so if you don't take the stealthy approach, you may find that you get yourself in a very tricky situation, making things a lot more difficult because of the consequences that happen after you get detected. Stealth is no longer just limited to the missions themselves, it also is branching out to free roam, and this is the ways in which they're doing it. When it comes to being stealthy, this can require you to jump up high so you can see enemy locations, climb around walls to stay hidden, and jumping in hay bales wherever it's needed. All this makes use of the classic Assassin's Creed parkour system that fans have come to know and love over the years. But there's an extra level to this. Ubisoft have taken extra care this year not to remove animations, but instead to add back the ones that they've removed from previous titles and also build even more on top of the current system that they have. The protagonist within Assassin's Creed Mirage, Basim, will actually be a lot faster compared to previous assassins. This means that you'll be able to quickly climb walls and generally get around buildings at a much faster pace than what was originally possible. And this crosses over perfectly with stealth because not only is it just about you getting around within free roam from point A to point B, but it's also that you can now pull off some of the more riskier assassinations without ever getting detected. We're not talking about being complicated, we're talking about you being in a bush, quickly being able to run out or parkour up a wall only for you to assassinate your target and then make your way back to the location to be hidden. All of this comes down to the agility of Basim and the pace in which you can react that when trying to assassinate a target. And a new parkour system as well as stealth system allows you to do this. But stealth isn't just about you controlling Basim, it also comes down to the tools in which you're using. You're not necessarily going to be able to stay hidden throughout the whole game, and there will be some moments in which you're going to need to have a little bit of help. There will be a variety of different decoys that you can use in order to stay out of sight, one of which is a detection mine. Detection mines will release a poisonous smoke. This will be visible smoke, so it will make enemies aware someone is trespassing. However, these instantly startle enemies and prevent them from moving and also affect their sights. Where these will be best utilized is when you've actually already been detected. If you've been detected, it's perfect time for you to chuck one of these down, run away whilst enemies are chasing you, only for them to be stunned by this detection mine, allowing you to escape, and you can get back into a hiding spot where you can take this stealthy approach again. Another way in which you can use this is by placing this down somewhere in which a guard may accidentally trigger it, where all nearby guards will be distracted with what's going on there, and you can make your way behind them, going in undetected. Another tool that will be able to be used is blow darts. These have already been seen before in Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Rogue. You could use sleep and berserk darts. In Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Rogue, you could use these darts to either knock out enemies or force them to fight each other. This doesn't give away your location, but can make enemies aware that someone is nearby. But if it is used correctly, you can prevent enemies from ever finding you, and will generally keep you out of sight whilst you try to be stealthy. As of right now, these are the only tools that we know of which have been confirmed so far, but you can expect a huge variety of what Ubisoft will be releasing soon. We also know that with the tools that will be available, they're also upgradable, so you can improve the efficiency in which they're used to help you infiltrate some of the bigger and more heavily guarded places whilst still remaining stealthy. It's not just the tools in which are upgraded, but also supposedly Basim's abilities can also be upgraded. So we know that you will be able to take out multiple targets at once, but right at the beginning, it's rumored that you may only be able to take out 1 or 2 enemies at the same time, but once you upgrade this ability, you will be able to take on a hell of a lot more. We don't know the maximum number, but it's a timed ability with a cooldown, so with that in mind, it's not something that you can keep on spamming, so it has to be a number of enemies at once. Social stealth within Assassin's Creed Mirage has also been improved. In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ubisoft attempted to implement social stealth. This is where you would blend in with crowds. It's been part of the franchise for years, but it just wasn't really needed in Valhalla. There were locations in which you can pretend to do certain activities or just blend in with groups of people just like you normally would, but I can't think of a single mission where it's needed or a single time in which I did it, and it's been the same for many other players. This is going to play a more essential role within Mirage. Ubisoft are aware of the problems that stealth played within Valhalla, and they wanted to make it a more essential thing rather than removing all the mechanics that link to it. So there will be more improvements to social stealth, bringing in some of the mechanics that we've seen before, but making it more essential when you're moving in free roam as well as within missions. Now, with all of this, Ubisoft have had to put out that they're also still looking for realism. Yes, they're trying to push stealth, and yes, they're taking it deeper than ever before, but they don't want it to be the only approach. Ubisoft have said with stealth that they're trying to take a realistic approach. In previous titles, you would be able to stand an enemy's view for relatively long periods of time without being spotted. Likewise, you also don't really need to be quiet. As long as you're a certain distance away, and that distance isn't that far, if you're picking up bodies and chucking them down, no other enemies are going to detect you unless they see you doing that, but they're not going to hear you if they're facing the other way. With Mirage, that won't be the case. Ubisoft have said that the game will maintain a realistic world. That means that stealth may be more challenging as you're going to have to think outside the box and stay quiet and also stay hidden. This comes down to the new detection system. Ubisoft acknowledges that the previous detection system was somewhat broken or unreliable. There will be sudden moments where you are detected and times where you're in plain sight and enemies don't even see you. Ubisoft are aware of this, and it will be changing the way in which it works with Mirage. Ubisoft have confirmed that the detection system in Mirage has been completely reworked. They've said that the system will have much more detail and visual feedback compared to previous titles. So with everything that we've gone through within this video, where we highlight how Ubisoft are putting more emphasis on stealth by giving you more things to do with tools, with different types of animation and parkour abilities, as well as just giving more opportunities within free roam, they're also balancing it out, just making it a hell of a lot harder with the new detection system. Chances are you're probably going to get detected even if you try to take the stealthiest possible approach within Assassin's Creed Mirage. And for Ubisoft, it purely comes down to entertainment. It would be extremely boring if Ubisoft gave all of these different ways in which you could be stealthy only for the detection system to be completely rubbish that you don't really need to be. Or at the very least goes back to the way in which stealth used to play within Assassin's Creed, where it felt like they were just holding your hand. Everything is reported to go a hell of a lot deeper. Not only with the different gameplay mechanics that are there to benefit you in being stealthy, but also is going to be a lot deeper with how you get detected. It's not going to be as easy as what it once was. And if all of this is executed correctly by Ubisoft, then this isn't them just trying to promote and sell it, and it actually is gameplay mechanics that are part of the game, then this could very well be the best stealth that we've seen ever. And I'm very excited to see how all of this turns out. If you have any questions about the stealth within Assassin's Creed Mirage, then feel free to leave those comments in the comment section down below. If you want to learn more about Assassin's Creed Mirage, then on screen right now is a video where we go through absolutely everything. We highlight all the different details that you need to know, from assassinations, parkour, a bit of stealth, the storyline, the main characters, and expected release dates. That video is now on screen, so if you click it, you'll be taken directly there and you can learn about everything that you need to know.